Welcome back. You're still on to the press, and we're reaching you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. We've now been joined by our guest, engineer Toba Owojaiye, who's a public affairs analyst. You're welcome to the studio this morning.
Good morning. Thank you very much.
It's a pleasure to have you again today.
It's a pleasure to be here always.
Thank you for coming. All right. So one of the issues on the front burner this morning is the issue of the minimum wage. And the Nigerian Tribune captured it as minimum wage, NLC, TUC say no going back on May 31st deadline. Now, they also won neck over refusal to reverse hiked electricity tariff. Then finance, justice ministers, NJC, NBA, others, okay, 300% salary increase, but that's on one side. Let's talk about the minimum wage now that is currently on the front burner. Now, the NLC has rejected the 48,000 naira that has been proposed by the federal government, and now they are saying they are going to embark on a strike. May 31st is the deadline. What do you think is feasible when it comes to this minimum wage?
Thank you very much. I think 48,000 is a good start-off point by the federal government. We've seen Edo State agree to a 70,000, which is still disputed by the APC candidate that's coming in, who is seeing it as a booby trap for him, though I don't see him emerging. So I wonder why he's the only person complaining. But that's one of the issues. Left to me 72,000 or double of 48,000, which is 96. 72,000 or 96,000 is a fair. It won't do wonders, but it's a fair figure.
Okay.
Yes, but you see, this is a minimum wage we're talking about, and people don't still get minimum wage. People think minimum wage is what government must pay. No, minimum wage is what every employee must pay their lowest worker. So if you have a cleaner, when you are telling the government to pay the cleaner 96,000, make sure that you too, that owns a store and you have a POS operator, you must pay that person 96,000. So this is the reality of what people are asking for. People are asking because they just believe, oh, this is a trap for the federal government. No. There's minimum wage in every country, and you have to pay minimum wage to anybody who you employ. The lowest, and that's the lowest. So if that's the lowest, then what are you paying other people higher on the scale? Means those earning 200 and something will be earning 500 and something. Those who are or more, you know. So for me, 48,000 is a good start. If I was federal government, I can start at 40,000, see how the economy improves, and then from there, I'm aiming at 72,000. That would be good.
But you know that even at 33,000 minimum,
yes,
some states still don't adhere to it.
That's what I'm saying. So it's even still going to be stressful to get some states to pay the 48. It will still be stressful to get some states to pay the 72. And it'll be impossible to get any state to pay the 472,000 that NLC is asking for. So
I know that NLC was asking for some amounts that were in the
about 472,000.
Exactly. So if they are asking for that kind of amount, and the federal government came up with, I think, almost 10% of what they've actually asked for, because if they were asking for 472,000 naira and you're giving them 48,000, that's like literally maybe 11% of their ask. Now, do you think that their supposed strike that they want to go for after May 31st, do you think the federal government will even take them any serious? Because there are also conversations that labor has been compromised when it comes to politics.
Yeah, it's just, see, I've made it clear here. No government can come into, no president, no candidate could have won this election and come and paid 500,000 naira as its minimum wage. No one. No state can pay it. No single state in Nigeria. No single company. MTN cannot try it.
Won't it even lead to inflation? Much more.
That's what I'm saying. There are things when I hear from NLC, I wonder whether we should screen people for sanity before they allow them to contest for that position, or screen them for drugs. Who is the big... Transcorp can't pay their staff that. Transcorp cannot pay their staff 500,000 as minimum wage. US Embassy cannot pay it as their minimum wage. So let's be realistic. We are a country heavily laden with debt. We're a country that has been abused for decades. We are in a little recovery, very little and painful recovery. But there must be sacrifice. You see, Nigeria's flag doesn't have red. You know why? There's been no bloodshed. There's been no sacrifice for our independence. Other countries with red on their flag know what they did to get independence and make sacrifices. Let's make some sacrifice. 48,000 is not fantastic. There's nobody who will earn 48,000 and say, yay. But there are people who earn it. There are small jobs I do and I get 50,000. I'm serious. I do a write-up for somebody. I work 2 days. I finish the article. I send. They pay me 50,000. It's not fantastic, but it pays my data. It pays my bills. It pays my electricity bill. It solves some problems.
Of
so
course.
It's not fantastic, but it is a start. If I'm the government, I want to move from it, except I'm moving to 72,000, which I've also proposed. But it's not. Next year we can go higher. Next year we hope to see things get better. But
All right,
let's not kill the country for this.
There was a statement you made when you referred to Edo States
Yes.
paying 70,000 naira.
Yes.
I remember hearing Governor Obaseki say something like, I don't know what they are doing in Abuja, but we that are here, we're going to try to do something better. I'm sure when it comes to the minimum wage. And then he was talking about trying to get somebody who's going to continue their legacy.
Yes.
So would you take it back to the question I asked you the other time when I said, do you think that this is also some sort of political gimmicks when it comes to increasing that wages, their minimum wage to 70,000 at the brink of his administration?
Yes, there can be politics involved, but you must also remember the state has a legacy of always paying, starting the upward race of minimum.
They said 40,000.
Yes, yes. His predecessor was the first person that started paying 18,000. Oshumole at the time. And I think he also moved it to 33,000 then. So this is not something very new about Edo State, okay? And the governor has done well. He was the first to start paying 40,000. Now he has looked at it and said, okay, I can pay 70,000. And he has employed about 5,000 people. But I'm not saying he has the highest workforce. So some other states have larger workforce, okay? So they have to consider all of that. But you want to,
and some other states are way richer, so
some states, other states are richer. So for me it's a good thing. I don't see it as political. Even if it's political, I see the people benefiting. For heaven's sake, let the people benefit from politics for once. If the next governor comes and wants to take it down, then he's going to have a fight in his hand.
okay, beautiful. Because we're still looking at minimum wage, there's also a conversation that says judges stand for God on earth, mustn't bow to public opinion. That's on the front page of Blueprint newspaper. That's coming from the CJN. And we have, it says, Fagbemi Edun orders back 300% salary increments for judicial officers. Now there's conversation that these judicial officers have not gotten a raise in their pay in the last 17 years. That's as far back as 2011. But why are they concentrating so much on the judges? So what about the judicial workers who have not even gotten a single raise since 2008? Which means that if the judicial workers don't do their job, the judges cannot even be able to do theirs either. So that brings me to the question of, is it that we have some sort of indiscriminate status in Nigeria?
I think part of what they may have aimed to do is to placate the judges. You see, it's hard to tell a man to be honest when he's begging. Once a man is in survival mode, he becomes a beast. So you see a judge being offered 200 million or 2 billion to look within the judicial world and pull out magic straws from his hat, and then he does it in his appeal court, knowing that the Supreme Court may knock it off later, but he has cashed in already because he's having very poor pay. That is not enough reason he has a bad character flaw. Let's start with that. But one of the justifications is his pay. So the judges should be able to afford a comfortable life. The judges should be able to, you see, this is part of why people are corrupt in Nigeria. You look at the fact that you are working in this TV station. It's a great job. If this job is not pensionable, after 10 years, you're going to start asking yourself, will I be the face they want for the next 50 years? And if I live here, I can't be a youth again. So where am I going to get something? Everybody wants a good retirement end.
Absolutely.
So part of the ways to fight corruption is to make a great retirement benefit and end. Let people be paid well. Let people's pensions be good. Let every Nigerian be able to, who has worked, be able to afford a good house, a good car at their old age. This reduces the risk to cheat, to steal. So I don't see it as bad. What I just see is the other judicial officers may not be able to get 300% raise immediately, but they can double their raise. They are also part of the system. If they also connive or steal documents, we'll be back where we are.
Exactly, because judges are on the front burner here. They did it in 2011 without the other judicial workers. It might as well just happen again in 2024. Now, the New Telegraph reports the story and calls it, it says Nigerians suffering consequences of deprived judiciary. They'll tell you go to court. It says judges do their best when they are well compensated.
I agree.
People would often say go to court, go to court. But by the time you get to court, and then maybe the judicial workers that you're going to meet on ground are the ones that are supposed to attend to you first. So if somebody feels like I am not well paid, I am not going to do my job diligently, there may be some sort of should I call it some sort of hate towards what they do, and then start looking for other means of survival for themselves, feeling like, after all, I'm not even valued in this profession. Without me, you can't get access to these judges. So therefore, give me this, give me that. Isn't that giving a level playing or a breathing ground for corruption?
Yes, it is exactly what I've just said. But I cannot now ask for them to be given 300%, because once you do that, somebody else is going to tell you, I am also as important as the judicial workers in Nigeria. So we are the PHCN staff.
I used to think that they could.
We also want 300% raise. But you can't give every single person a 300% raise. Let's first of all establish that. We can't give every single Nigerian worker a 300% raise at once.
The question.
This is realistic.
The question is,
yes.
If I thought our constitution states that nobody should be discriminated against.
This is not a discrimination.
So, no, I'm looking at it from that angle.
Okay.
If we are all judicial workers, we know there are hierarchies to these things. There are different pay levels.
Yes.
If, for instance, I was earning 10,000 naira as a judicial worker, and you, as a judge in the same office,
yes,
you're earning 300,000 naira. If you get 300% increase, is that not 900K?
Yes.
So if I get a 300% increase, is that not 30,000 naira?
Yes.
Won't we all still work and be happy and smile?
Yes, what I'm saying
and
is
it would mean that we're still not earning the same thing, but we would enjoy the same benefits.
That's what I'm saying. But you see, you have to understand that this is a pay system. This money is not an unlimited resource. Let's not theorize real life situations.
Okay.
This is not an unlimited resource. There's no never ending source of money or income. That is why we are saying NLC can fix their minimum wage at 500,000. As far as NLC is not paying the salaries, the governors will be looking at them. So whatever you are asking must be realistic with the resources available to the person paying. And the person cannot say he wants to raise the salary of every single person at every single rate at the same time. This is what I'm saying. So I'm calling that for the judicial workers, they should get a 200% raise, double their salaries, okay? But I cannot same call that every single worker in Nigeria gets 3 times their earnings. And once that happens, I'm going to go to my own boss to ask him to give me 3 times my salary. I really love that.
I haven't waited for that long. I was thinking maybe they deserved to have, gotten their own 300% raise as well. Because, in fact, giving them a 300% raise will probably not even cost as much as it would cost giving judges 300% raise, in my opinion. I
have 4 million in pension it was 2 million as of when I had it in my pension account as of 2009. Right now it's 4 million. It has lost its value terribly. in the last 13 years that's only doubled, who should I ask for 300% of that? Who is going to give me 300% of?
So you're of the opinion that the judicial workers
I'm of the opinion that we must take a realistic. This is not.
But what about we say realistic measures? What about you looking at it from the angle of the rich gets richer and the poor gets poorer? Because these are the people that make and enable the judges to do their jobs.
Yes.
So if they are not happy, how do you think they will enable them to do their jobs?
Okay, so if we you see, you are looking at it from only the judiciary. I'm telling you that after the judiciary, there's the police, there's the customs.
But at least we start from one segment to the other.
I'm coming. There's the ASU, there's NITEL. If we triple every single salary, then we can't pay it.
Then we had better not start it in the first place.
Yeah, but you can look at and see that, okay, this judiciary is important. Let's say we're here because of faulty judgments by the judges. And we see that maybe their pay grade was part of the problem. And you want to solve a problem. You solve it in parts. You solve it in pieces. You may not be able to do all at once, but you start. For me, this is a start. And I think it's a good one. They should continue. And they should listen to the voices of the masses. Because the masses will come for them in the next 3 years.
What do you think the masses are saying?
Well, the masses will keep saying what they are saying. You
said they should listen to the voice of the masses.
So yes, they should just listen. Keep it in view. I've employed people. I still employ people.
Of course.
People don't know how fast 30 days come for someone who is paying. 30 days is magic. Before you blink, you have 30 days. If you have 70 million to pay your workers, before you blink, whether they worked hard or didn't work hard, some deals worked, some deals didn't work. That's not their business. Do you understand?
I totally agree.
So this is realistic. I don't want to be in one theory land and glory land and say everybody's pay will be tripled. It can't happen immediately.
I understand you're talking reality. Anyways, let's move on to another story on the front page of the Daily Times. It says Clark accuses Ganduje Damagun of encouraging Wike to derail democracy in Rivers. Says APC PDP national chairman collaborating with FCT minister to frustrate Fubara. And Jonathan also spoke. He said he told Fubara and Wike to work together. And he's also saying if they're not careful, it will become a national issue. Now, talking about them working together or talking about Wike frustrating Fubara, there are some people on the local parlance say, why should they work together? One person's administration is over, he should face his new job, and then the other person working should face his job. What's your take on these two sides?
First of all, Clark is a big leader and has always spoken on issues in the South, and I respect him for that. Clark's an Ijaw man. Fubara is an Ijaw man. So there's still that tribal coloration to him speaking virtually every single time to support Fubara. So we understand that. Good Luck is trying to be in the middle. He's known as a peacemaker. So he's just calling for truce. He's just saying, guys, don't heat up this more than where we are. He's trying to give Wike some credence. I know what you can do. See, you can't be in Rivers for the last 12 years and not know what Wike can do. I tell you, I kid you not, Jonathan knows far more than he's saying.
What can Wike do?
If you've known a man for 12 years, if you've known a man
you think I'm putting you on the spot, so you're trying to avoid
Yeah, no, you've always done that. You always do this, and I'm always trying to dodge it. If you've known a man for 12 years and you know what he can do, and you have been an ex-president.
Can do is broad.
Yes, what I'm saying.
And I'm curious to know.
No, it's you have to ask Good Luck. If you know what Wike can do, and you've been a president over him, and you've been like a father over him for years, you're telling him, calm this down. I know. He's just being himself. Good Luck is a peacemaker. So he's trying to say, if we hit, see, what everybody is running from, what the presidents are running from, and ex-presidents, is the collapse of a nation. And many people cannot see that what happens in rivers can be a domino effect to the collapse of a nation. Why? Over 30% of the oil derivatives we have span in river states. Once that crisis in rivers happens and that revenue goes, it puts pressure on the other states. And then the militants in those other states rise up to and make money out of it because pressure of demand and low supply. Once that happens, we cannot pay federal allocations. Once we cannot pay federal allocations, this fairy tale salary increases you are talking about will be gone in the wind because you won't even be able to pay what you have been paying. So you're going to have a complete collapse. Now imagine a complete rundown in this crisis we are already in, this bleeding economy, and these people are crying for food every day right now. What do you think will happen then? So an ex-president who has seen it all is saying, guys, just Wike, try and avoid Sim, try and avoid Wike. Let's just coexist. And I think he has spoken well.
So I want to know, what's Ganduje, Damagun, what are they doing in the picture?
You see, this is why if you don't understand politics, you can't understand what these people are saying sometimes. Why will you call two party chairmen to come and talk to Wike?
Two different political parties.
Yes, because he's seen APC, he's seen Wike as a PD-APC. That is his statement, if you understand what that means. It means PDP man, come and talk to half of Wike. APC chairman, come and talk to the other half of Wike. So it's a political statement, and Wike needs to face his work at the federal level. He's doing very well. He will soon be commissioning things for 7 straight days. I respect him for his work. I know people differ in his opinion of his speech and of the things he decides to take as a vendetta. So, but he delivers on his job, and I think he should face that. Fubara should also face his job. God, he has work to do. He's brilliant. He's an accountant. He's been in the system for
that means he'll be prudent with the state's finances.
Yes, he's been in the system for over 8 to 12 years. He doesn't need this drama. He has work to do.
All right, let's leave River State and talk about student loan.
Yes.
I'm sure you've heard about it. Now it says 1.2 million beneficiaries listed as scheme begins Friday. Now the student loan that had long been awaited since last year has now been launched, and it starts on Friday with federal universities first of all, and then they say students in 226 tertiary institutions to benefit. All that they need is admission letter, name, BVN. That's all that is needed. Now I know you have a little detail about this student loan. Can you walk us through it, especially when it comes to the demand, when to pay back, or how it's supposed to be disbursed to the students?
It's going to be a tough one. We are trying to mirror, the president is trying to mirror what happens in USA and other countries where the school fees are high, so you take student loans and then you pay off gradually after you are through with school and working. So a deal is struck between the organization in which you're working with, and they begin to make gradual deductions till your student loan is fully paid. Okay, so it's a good idea. For me, our school fees are not that high like what is in USA, but these loans are good. It will help students focus. Of course, they will not be credited. It will be the school accounts that will be credited. Okay, but there's also a facility where some of the loanees students can also access some stipend cash for survival, because how do you pay school fees and you can't eat, you can't buy books, you can't do anything, and then you fail? How are you going to pay our loan back? So once you come to loan repayment, you have to think of many things. I worked in the bank. Someone had applied for 1.8 million as a loan, and I told him, I can't give you this loan except I'm giving you 3 million. And the guy was shocked. I was like, this is too close, because if I give you this loan, your personal problems that you already have will come in, and by the time I give you the loan, I can't be your boss again. You're going to do whatever you want to do. So you won't be able to have even 1.2 to execute this after you. It's not realistic. So I had to increase the amount that he was collecting so that he was able to pay the loan, and he was able to pay the loan. So there has to be some which they have planned for, but they said for a few students they have to make it bigger. If you're giving 100,000 to as school fees, be able to give them 20,000 per month. It's not going to be fantastic. It's not going to solve all their problems, but 20,000 per month coming to you from a loan scheme keeps a student running. Yes. So these are things to expect them to do. They said they will pay 2 years after they graduate. I don't see how
exactly
they'll be able to pay 2 years after you graduate.
Because a lot of people even graduate and never get to find a job.
Yeah, you cannot collect from those who have not gotten a job. That's part of the clause on that. Okay. The person has to have graduated and has to have started working. And once they have started working, that's why they're collecting the BVN and NIM. Because most companies pay their workers through their banks. So if you start collecting a salary loan from work, it shows in your account. They now begin their deductions. But I think they should span it over 8 years. That's more realistic. So
it simply means that if you probably do not earn in the next 2 years, nobody's going to ask you for the funding.
Yes.
Anyway, that's a good one. I just hope that, Nigerians find it very hard to embrace anything new. And some persons also have the mentality of once any finance is coming from government, is national cake, let's go and take our share. And then when it's time to pay back, it becomes a problem. I hope that we don't get to find messier situations when it comes to paying back.
I expect that to still happen.
I thought as much. All right, so today is the 21st day of May 2024, which means that in the next 8 days, it will be May 29, and it will be 1 year since President Bola Ahmed Tinubu became the president of Nigeria.
Yeah.
What would you, or how would you assess his leadership so far?
I've been asked this question for the last one month, and it's very tough to answer because I have two answers. Okay. For what can be seen, felt, touched, I will score Tinubu 40 over 100. Okay,
maybe I should give you the areas of focus and get your scores according to some of these places. Power sector, economy, security.
You want to do it one by one, or?
I want you to give him your score in this, aspect.
Okay, let me just give you the general score and then show you the two parts of what he's doing.
Okay.
For what can be seen, I would overall score Tinubu 40%. For what cannot be obvious to the general eye, I will score Tinubu 90%.
Why 90? For what cannot be seen, it simply means that we're probably not feeling the effect or whatever.
Yes, because you see, it's not easy to govern Nigeria. You can theoretically sit in your house and govern Nigeria, but we understand Nigeria. We understand the balance of every decision you have to take. That has to be a balance across different states, different cultures, different ideologies, different patterns of thinking. These are the things that back end have to be scored, okay? But front end of what has been delivered, this is what I'm saying, I will score him a 40%. They've not done well on power. Tariff rates, that's a mess. That can be fixed. Pipes, lines are still being vandalized. We've had zero complete shutdown like 5 times. Complete shutdown of power like 5 times. I think he should change the minister, though that's someone he knows well, so it should make it easier for him to change him. But the economy, there's been a lot of somersault in the economy. The economy is not doing very well. But the indices of business, I don't want to use Abuja as a way to rate businesses.
Okay.
But I've truly not seen businesses suffer. I've not seen reduction in cars.
Did you say you've not seen businesses suffer?
No, I mean, I've been to markets, I've been to shops. I still go to supermarkets and still see a large turnout of people buying stuff. I'm not saying they're happy. I'm not saying they're not in pain. I'm talking of actual transactions.
Okay.
You drive, I was coming here and you sent me a message that there's a hold up. It was not hold ups of ghosts. It was hold up of cars. So there's still economy. There's still movement. But what is the back end? The president is waiting for, Dangote has said before in June, 2027, 2028, 2029, 2030, 2031, 2032, 2033, 2034, 2035, 2036, 2037, 2038, 2039, 2040, 2041, 2042, 2043, 2044, 2045, 2046, 2047, 2048, 2049, 2050, 2051, 2052, 2053, 2054, 2055, 2056, 2057, 2058, 2059, 2060, 2061, 2062, 2063, 2064, 2065, 2066, 2067, 2068, 2069, 2070, 2071, 2072, 2073, 2074, 2075, 2076, 2077, 2078, 2079, 2080, 2081, 2082, 2083, 2084, 2085, 2086, 2087, 2088, 2089, 2090, 2091, 2092, 2093, 2094, 2095, 2096, 2097, 2098, 2099, 2000, 2001, 2002, 2003, 2004, 2005, 2006, 2007, 2008, 2009, 2010, 2011, 2012, 2013, 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017, we will not need to import 1 liter of fuel again in Nigeria. This is what has been happening for 16 years. If in 1 year we can come to where, right now we are not importing diesel again, we are not importing aviation fuel again. If we can come in 1 year to all these 3 basic things not being imported again, which we've imported for 16 years, we are making progress, because those payments are made in dollars. Those are the things that generally make a constant demand for our dollar. We saw 380.
Dangote is still buying from the US.
Yes, we saw 386 people freed from Borno State that were kidnapped 10 years ago. We are seeing some progress, but you see, as much as we are seeing some progress, we are seeing some areas that are not doing well. You understand? And we understand that people are pained. You can't tell a child you beat how to cry.
Exactly.
Okay? So we understand that people are pained. There's a lot that has not gone right. One of the things they are commissioning next week is the VP's residence that was done with 5 billion. Now, I understand when people cry about that, but that should have been done 1999. That's not something Nigeria should be doing in 2024. Nigeria should have done that when they built the Senate, when they built the president's house. They should have built a VP house since. It should have been done 1999, not even now. Long before now. But there has to be a day when it will be done. I do not agree with it that it should have been done now. There are better things we should have done now. But there must be a day when Nigeria will have built that VP lodge. So these are the indices, and I understand that people are not happy with the president, but you cannot, if you're in business or you have done anything before, you cannot fault his work rate. The man is a workaholic, every day working, every day doing meetings, every day trying to beat the already settled image that he will fail. So I give him kudos. He needs to do better. He needs to rein in the projects. He has good projects, but they are expensive, like the coastal highways. They are far expensive and padded, but they are good, which is why you see Ben Bruce and Donald Duke come to praise it, because those states, we've been milking them of oil for over 60 years, and now that a road is trying to pass through the oil producing states, we are now complaining that they shouldn't get roads. So in their own perspective, we shouldn't get roads. But you used our money to build Abuja roads and Kano roads and road from Katsina to Maradi. It was good to use our own money then to build the roads. Now they want to do roads for us. You are looking for a small point to. So he should reduce the padding of projects. The projects are good, but he should monitor them closely that they are not overly padded.
You know, we're talking about the petroleum just now, and you said because they're buying in dollars. Why is Dangote still buying petrol from the US? Why is he still buying crude from the US? I beg your pardon.
From what I'm aware, Nigeria has pre-sold its crude in the last administration.
How credible is that?
From what I'm aware.
I like
Nigeria has, I choose my words well.
Okay.
From what I'm aware, Nigeria has pre-sold its crude under the Buhari administration. I'm sure they would look for a way to increase production. Production is at 1.7 now. Once we get to 1.82 million, we'll be able to have our own crude that can be legally supplied to our refineries. So there's a lot of back end rubbish holding us back.
Even while we're so excited about Dangote refinery coming on board, Kaduna refinery coming on board, and all of that, it simply means that we don't even have what to supply them.
Yes, but if the production hits a certain level, let's say you've pre-sold your crude. Let's say you've pre-sold your crude at 1.5 million barrels
per day,
and you've let's say, you see, I'm come back to let's say, and you've sold it for 10 years. So if you're producing 1.7, you don't have enough to sell, talk less of
to make extra money.
Yes, to make extra money, talk less of to give Dangote. So Dangote go and sort yourself while this is being done. But when you get to 2 million, 2.5 production, you don't have enough crew to do that. So there's a lot of back ends to governance. I'm so sorry I can't say everything.
I know you can't say everything. So let's quickly take this story that I found on social media.
Okay.
So Daniel Bwala says, Peter Obi only stands the chance to be Nigeria's president in 2039 when he clocks 79 or above 79 years. By then, his message would no longer be vote me because I am the younger of the candidates, but it will be vote me because age doesn't matter but capacity. The reason is official Abat, that's President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, will finish his 2 terms, then power would come to the north for another 8 years before it goes to the south, and then rodents who keep shouting we are the youth by then will be saying we are the elders last week. I want to get your understanding of that statement coming from Daniel Bwala, because I didn't expect that would come from him.
Yeah, he's saying exactly what any politician knows, but he's saying it painfully. He's saying it to mock. I don't subscribe to people mocking Peter Obi. I'm not of that school of thought that you should mock somebody who has come on board to want to make a difference and has changed the political game. Peter Obi has changed the political game. He has changed what Nigerians want. We are demanding more from government now than we have ever done before. And that's because people saw a ray of hope in him. Yes, I know that Peter Obi didn't win that election. There are many people who still don't know that. And I understand with them, and I understand with myself. Okay. Now, I also understand that he also has a chance in 2027. Let nobody tell you he doesn't have a chance. If he doesn't have the chance, the presidency and the people pushing Tinubu would even not answer any of his chats. So they know he has a chance.
People say even after the elections, people are still singing his name.
That's what I'm saying. He still has a chance in 2027.
Okay.
But he will not have a chance in 2031. He will not have a chance in 2035.
Why so?
Because power will go to the north.
What if the voice of the people counts more?
Which people?
The people who want him in power.
I want you to understand politics. Politics is a swing. For Nigeria.
I totally understand.
For Nigeria, I don't know of another country. Politics is a swing. And when it is not swinging in your direction, they are watching how you, who is not swinging in your direction, supports it swinging in the other direction, which is why the southwest is easiest to win power for the south, because every time it's time for the north, for power to swing to the north, the southwest is not resistant to that. Absolutely. The southwest makes it happen. As a matter of fact, in 2015 Buhari would have not been able to beat Kwankwaso, Atiku and Rochas if not for the southwest. It is that wisdom of Tinubu and the southwest to support Buhari that has now paid Tinubu back off. I'm showing you that if Tinubu does 8 years, the southwest will join with the north for power to go back to the north. And if they do that, when power is coming back, they will remember the people who... You see, this is a game, and that's why we're saying every region should wake up. I have told Southwest... Please give me 1 minute. Give me 1 minute.
You have 30 seconds.
Okay, I've told Southwest that from now, they should get 6... I've said it in many platforms. They should get 6 young men that are in their 30s and make them SAs to different governors in the southeast.
Okay.
Because in 16 years or 12 years time, power will go to southeast if they are ready.
All right. Thank you very much, Engineer Toba Owojaiye, Public Affairs Analyst. We really appreciate your insight today.
Thank you very much.
All right, viewers, that's all the cuttings on today's show. Thank you so much for joining us again. I'll see you later. I am Olamide Hassan. Bye for now.